On the phone, acclaimed civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump. Ben, good morning, man. Thank you for joining us early this morning.
Hey, thank you for having me, Rick. I was excited to give these updates because there's been a lot of developments since we talked.
So, man, we really, I know you ripping and running, but just wanted you to come on this morning, just update us on, on a few cases. Now, first of all, yesterday the news came out that one of the charges had been dropped against former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin in the killing of George Floyd. Now, what happened and what does this mean?
Absolutely, and I'll talk about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, Rickey.
Ben, hello.
Hello, can you hear me, Rickey?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I said, Rickey, I'll talk about Breonna Taylor and George Floyd this morning to the Rickey Smiley Nation with the updates. And it's really the tale of two attorney generals. In Minnesota, you got the first black elected, Keith Ellison, who is a champion for civil rights. And then in Breonna Taylor in Kentucky, you got this black Republican, first black attorney general, Daniel Cameron. And when you look at what's happening in Minnesota, you can feel confident that Keith Ellison is going to make sure that there are convictions. Yesterday, after the police lawyers, the 4 officers who've all been charged with 9 charges, they filed a month ago to make sure that they were heard on their motions to dismiss all of the charges. Well, the judge denied their motion to dismiss all 9 of the charges. He dismissed 1 third-degree murder charge. And so what we have left is second-degree murder. We have negligent manslaughter. We have reckless manslaughter. We have involuntary manslaughter. We have aggravated assault, aggravated battery, and assault charges. And as Keith Ellison told me and George Floyd's family, he said, man, I've never went to a case against a police officer with these many charges. So we have every confidence that they're going to be convicted. And when they're convicted, they can get up to 55 years in prison. And even though the judge dismissed that third-degree murder charge, which is very similar to those manslaughter charges, so it really is a non-factor, they still can get up to 55 years. Now, just to pose what Keith Ellison did, and this is why we have to vote, y'all. It's so important to vote. These prosecutors have to give equal justice under the law. Keith Ellison, remember, in George Floyd, he filed the charges, and then on his own, he made the decision. And then he went and got them ratified by the grand jury. He didn't wait to try to say, I'm going to get cover or justification from the grand jury. Now, look at what Daniel Cameron did. He went to the grand jury, and it has been exposed now by that member of the grand jury who filed the lawsuit, Rickey Smiley, saying they want to talk because they believe they were deceived by this black Republican attorney general. And he confirmed after the judge unprecedentedly, and I got to thank you, Rickey Smiley, all the activists, all the young people, because the judge did something unprecedented in Breonna Taylor's case. She allowed for a member of the grand jury to come and talk about the secret grand jury proceedings, and what he said confirmed what we all suspected, that Daniel Cameron lied when he came out to the public and said that the grand jury found everything those officers did to be justified. That grand jury said they found many things that those officers did were unjustified, and they asked, Rickey, this is the big thing, they asked him, can they consider homicide charges and against the killers of Breonna Taylor? And the prosecutors told them no, because we don't know if we can get them to stick. Now, think about that, Rickey. All the black people in our community that they charge on questionable cases have these trumped-up charges, and they're going to tell us in Breonna's case the reason they're not going to charge because they didn't know if they can get a conviction. What if they apply that to our neighborhood? You know how many brothers and sisters wouldn't get charged with big BS charges? And so that's the tale of 2 attorney generals, one in Minnesota who fights for the community, one in Kentucky who don't fight for the community. And that's why we got to vote on November 3rd, because Breonna blood is on the ballot, George Floyd blood is on the ballot, Ahmaud Arbery blood is on the ballot, Jacob Blake blood is on the ballot. So that's what we got to do. And I was so happy to hear Kamala Harris on your show talking about the importance of voting.
Hey, Ben, when you come back, next time you come on the show, let me know when you get an opportunity, when you get some time, because I want to talk about the hanging death of Nevin Baker.
Yes, sir.
And it hadn't got a whole lot of attention because there's been a lot of mysterious hangings all over the United States. So I want to talk about that. Ben, and I really appreciate you coming on. Let everybody know if they want to reach you, how can you be reached, or how can they follow you?
Absolutely. At Attorney Crump on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, but also bencrump.com. And Rickey, I also want to talk about the fact that these federal judges, 300 have been appointed, as Kamala Harris said, by Donald Trump, and not one African American. Can you believe that? All these judges thinking like Trump. When our children go before them, they going to judge us like Donald Trump. So that's why we got to vote. And that's why I love you, Rickey Smiley, giving her the platform, giving me the platform so we can talk about our issues in our community.
There it is. Hey, man, root to the good brother. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, love you, Frat.
Hey, love you too, man. Attorney Benjamin Crump, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.